It's Welcome Home Wednesday with Skogman Insurance, and we're joined by commercial insurance account executives Joe Leonard and David Marsden. Hello, thank you for being here.
Thanks for having us.
Yes, so last time you joined us, we focused on the home and auto landscape after the derecho. Today, we want to shift the conversation to local businesses. So how have major storms impacted business owners, especially when it comes to their properties and buildings?
Now, to start, I mean, for the business owners who own commercial property, I mean, like homeowners, they've seen their rates increase significantly the past 5 years since the storm, right? So, and prior to the storm, you know, if we were to walk in and renew a policy with building coverage on it, almost every insurance carrier would actually add 4 or 5% every year at renewal to make sure we're maintaining replacement cost on that particular building, right? After derecho, that number, that 4 to 5% figure, went to probably anywhere from 8 to 10% or more, right? So take a building that we insured 5 years ago for $1 million. That same building today here locally would probably have a limit on it roughly of $1.5 million or north of that just to maintain replacement cost, you know, valuation. So building limits are up, property rates are up. Oh, and by the way, insurance carriers are also asking business owners to have more skin in the game now as far as deductibles. So, and to give you an example of that, I have a commercial client that called me last week. A local business owner, owns a couple restaurants in Iowa City. They also, him and his partners own several rental properties, and they're looking to buy an apartment building. So he obviously says, look, what's the insurance going to cost us on this thing if we purchase it? So we go through the quote process, and as I'm walking through it, you know, he stops me and basically says, Dave, you know, I know you've talked about this in the past, but can you do me a favor? Refresh my memory. What is a 2% wind-hail deductible, right? Well, I explained to him, I said that this particular property was valued at about $1.4 million as far as the replacement cost. So what I told him was, keep in mind, when they say 2%, it's 2% of the building value as far as the deductible, not 2% of the claim.
Okay.
Yeah, so I think it's important to reiterate what Dave just said in regards to the percentage deductible. So that, like Dave said, it's a percentage of the building limit and not a percentage of the claim. There's been quite a bit of confusion with that recently, so we just want to make sure that we're clear on that. And also on top of all that, underwriters and the insurance companies have become a lot more disciplined recently, especially in the last couple of years. We've seen things like an up ramp and loss control, higher deductibles, as Dave said, and a lot stricter coverage terms. So property rates are starting to stabilize quite a bit, but we feel like the new standard, stricter terms are going to be here to stay.
What other issues would you say local business owners worry about on a day-to-day?
Something that Dave and I enjoy talking to our business owners a lot about is workers' comp. So work comp a lot of times gets categorized as a commodity, which we feel like couldn't be further from the truth. There's quite a bit in that area of an insurance program that a business owner can control. We feel like the #1 thing that business owners, with our help, can control is claims. Whether it's eliminating claims or just making sure that the size of the claim is as small as possible. What impact does that have? One, it reduces premiums and your overall cost of insurance, which also increases cash flow, which we all love. Two, for some businesses like contractors, it can affect their ability to bid on certain jobs and get to work. We want to help our clients' bottom line as much as possible and also increase profitability. And lastly, as I said before, making sure your employees stay safe and make it home every night is the most important thing that we can help with.
And to touch on Joe's point about claims control, while smaller work comp claims may not have as much of an impact on your experience, a large work comp claim certainly can. So a few years ago, I had a client of mine that who was driving, or their employee was driving in Marion. They collided with another vehicle, and the van, when it rolled, they actually lost their arm below the elbow. That claim we settled that for north of $2 million, if I recall. And that claim had a significant impact on their rates for about a 3-year period there. So if you're a business owner, though, and you're looking to try and control your cost, with property rates being as high as they are, as high as they've ever been, frankly, you know, on the work comp side, there's a real opportunity there if you're doing things right from a safety, loss control, risk management standpoint for your employees to save additional premium. And for the businesses that are doing these things on a regular basis, they're the ones that are really not only getting the best rates, they're getting the best bang for their buck.
So it's possible to have some affordability and adequate coverage.
Yep, correct.
Exactly.
So what are some tips you could provide to ensure small business owners are covered properly?
I think it's important to do annual planning and not just start thinking about your renewal 30 days before it comes up. We have a lot of business owners that get busy and sometimes will push it off, but I think it's very important to start looking at your renewals 60 to 90 days ahead of time, just to give yourself more options and more time to help control your program. We want to give you, the business owners, options. Other planning topics that we talk about, we would do, loss control, claims reviews, industry updates, market updates.
And as a business owner, I would say it's very important to partner with someone that really knows and truly understands your business. And not only that, but knows how to tailor the coverage towards what they're doing, right? Just because a business owner has a commercial policy with property coverage, auto, liability, work comp, and umbrella, it doesn't mean they're fully covered. Insurance companies are for profit, okay? And they will from time to time add exclusions to policies that may affect a bit, as far as their exposure for a business owner. So as agents, it's our job to do our due diligence and know what those exclusions are and whether they apply to a certain business or not, right?
Right.
And if they do, what can we do to kind of build that back in to reduce that exposure or eliminate it altogether?
Yeah, you want to have all the information before anything happens and
Exactly.
you're surprised by it.
Yeah, for sure.
Well, how can people get in touch?
Visit us at our website, skogmanins.com, or give us a call.
Wonderful. Thank you both so much.
Yeah,
Thank you.
Thanks for having us.
You bet.